Welcome everyone to the Beau Rivage. I'm Executive Chef Jason McWhorter, and I'm here in our newest restaurant, Salt and Ivy Coastal Kitchen. We had an opportunity to bring something fresh and new to the Gulf Coast. Our sister property, Aria in Vegas, has a Salt and Ivy. They serve breakfast and lunch and brunch. So we thought we could bring that to the Gulf Coast and add on a dinner piece because our customers really wanted something fresh and new. We added some of our southern flair in our menu items: chicken and waffles, shrimp and grits, fresh seafood from the Gulf, fresh vegetables from farms across our region. We're situated just inside the entry of the Beau Rivage. We have this wonderful area of seating that's underneath this beautiful atrium. We also have an area that looks over the gardens in the front of the casino. Not only do we have a wonderful menu, but we also have a wonderful bar menu. Our mixologist created some of the best cocktails that we have in our region, some classic cocktails, some local favorites. We also provide bottomless mimosas, poinsettias, and bellinis during our brunch on Saturdays and Sundays. But we also have some special nights. On Tuesdays, we feature our seafood platter with local seafood. And on Fridays, we have a prime rib special. Our hours of operation are Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., and dinner from 4 p.m. to midnight. We also stay up until 1 a.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. Our brunch is from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday. Welcome everybody. We're going to be displaying one of our new menu items coming on our seasonal menu. It's a crab cake Benedict. First off, we're going to start off by making the crab cakes. Something I like to do when I'm cutting the bell peppers is I'll just cut the sides of the bell pepper. And that alleviates the seeds from going all over the cutting board. Gives us a nice flat surface to cut the bell peppers. Just want to remove a little bit of this inside rib. Now we can stack these on top of one another and get nice julienne strips. And then we're going to go and small dice these bell peppers. Just like that. So now I'm going to go ahead and make the crab cakes. So I'm going to take my bowl, throw some of these vegetables in here. I already have some vegetables already cut up. Some red pepper, a little green pepper, a little diced red onion, a little bit more of that yellow pepper. We got a variety of seasonings here. We got a little bit of cilantro chopped, got a little bit of green onion chopped, some Creole or some Dijon mustard, a little bit of Worcestershire, a little bit of Crystal's hot sauce, a little bit of Old Bay seasoning, some granulated garlic, granulated onion. Just going to mix this together. Now we're going to add our mayonnaise. When making crab cakes, you want to put the crab in at the end. That way you're not breaking and shredding the crab all up. All right, now we got our wet ingredients and our vegetables. Now we can start putting in our crab. You want to be careful with crab meat because it could have some shells or some hard pieces of cartilage in there. So you want to go through and try to get some of those shells out. And now we want to add some of this oyster cracker. And that's going to help bind it all together. Now we're just going to mix to incorporate. Try to fold it gently. That way, again, you're not breaking up all those beautiful pieces of crab. All right, and now we have our crab cake mixture. So what we'll typically do is we'll take a few ounces out and just portion them, make little cakes, and we'll set them on a paper-lined baking tray. And you can make these an hour, up to a few hours ahead of time, and you want to put them in a cooler refrigerator. That way they can set up. It'll give them time for the flavors to marry, and they'll get a little set up with the breadcrumbs and the mayonnaise. All right, now we're going to work on our next section. We're going to make a little hollandaise sauce. So we have a little trick that we can do with the egg to get rid of the whites, because we want to keep the yolk. So we can open up the egg and pour the yolk into the shell, and the whites will fall off. And then we can just keep the yolks, because we're going to make our sauce. Now we don't want to get rid of the whites, because we can use that for egg whites, omelets, or eggs if you like without the yolk, or we can use those to make meringues. There's lots of different things that we can do. All right, so now I'm going to use this bowl and this pot as like a double broiler. So we're going to sit that on there, and we want to make sure that the water doesn't touch the bottom of the bowl. So we're going to get our bowl started to get warm. We're going to put our egg yolks in, and then we're going to get one of these lemons here, and we're going to put about a tablespoon of lemon juice in with these yolks. Get this little seed out of here. There we go. All right, now I'm just going to use a wire whisk to whisk these yolks until they start to get a little thick. You got to be careful though, because if you have them over this heat too long, then the yolks will start to scramble. So as it starts to get thick, and you can see that it's almost doubled in volume, and now I have some clarified butter here. We're just going to start with a little bit of this melted butter and continually to whip the butter into these egg yolks, a little bit at a time. When it's continued to get thick, add a little bit more of the melted butter and continue whipping it up. A little bit more butter. Continue to whip, 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 whip. Finish this off with a little salt and pepper. You could put cayenne, you could put herbs in it, you could put vinegars in it. Make a lot of different sauces with this hollandaise. This is the basic hollandaise. You can see here that it's nice and thick, and this is what we'll be using for our crab cake benedict. All right, now I'm going to turn some heat on our pan, and I'm going to take some of these English muffins. I'm gonna toast them up a little bit in this pan while I get my eggs started. A little trick we like to do with our eggs, we like to crack the egg and pour the egg in a little sieve, because there's some liquid inside these eggs that'll really cloud up our water that we're poaching with. So we'll just get that liquid off, and now we can dump our eggs right into this water. And I put a little vinegar in there because the vinegar is going to help keep the eggs whites together with the yolk. Drop that 2 in. All right, we'll get those started. All right, it looks like our English muffins got a little toast on it. Set that out. And now we're going to start to give a little sear to our crab cakes. So put a little clarified butter in the pan. Get the pan nice and hot. And I have a couple crab cakes here that I've already set. I'm going to hit them with a little bit of seasoning. Drop them right in the pan. We'll get a nice sear on those. And we got our eggs cooking over here. Beautiful, looking great. If they start to stick to the bottom of the pan, you just go over to the edge and just slightly adjust them and turn them over. And you can cook these as little or as well as you like. All right, so now, while these are searing off, we're gonna go ahead and start to build our plate. Got this wonderful local arugula that we're gonna go on the bottom of our English muffin. We've got some beautiful heirloom tomatoes that we've slightly roasted. And some wonderful grilled asparagus. All right, looks like our crab cakes are getting some sear on them here. And let them go just a little bit longer. While this is coming together, we do have a seasonal menu that we're doing in Salt and Ivy now. We'll be featuring a few items for brunch on Saturday and Sunday. This is going to be one of them. Crab cake benedicts. We'll also be doing a sweet potato pancake with a brown sugar cinnamon butter. And we'll also be doing a leek and bacon quiche with creme fraiche and pickled red onions. We're also going to be adding some dinner items to the new menu as well. We'll be featuring a few open-faced sandwiches, an open-faced turkey, a hot brown sandwich, which is kind of like an open-faced club, with hot meat and bacon and tomatoes and a nice cheese sauce. We'll be doing a prime rib sandwich with au jus and onions. All right, looks like these crab cakes are beautiful. Nice little sear. Check our eggs. Oh yeah, eggs are looking wonderful. All right, now we're going to finish off these benedicts. Right on top of these beautifully roasted tomatoes. And then we're going to take these poached eggs and place them right on top. So sometimes they'll want to fall off, so you just use the spoon to depress a little space in the top of these crab cakes, and these eggs will stay positioned right on top. All right, now we're going to top it with some of this beautiful hollandaise that we just made. Give a little bit to our asparagus here. And we're going to top it off with a little chopped chive. And there you have it, our crab cake Benedict. Saturday and Sundays brunch, 6 to 2 at Salt and Ivy.